Now, I'm going to put out a challenge to Shaumbra here. And we'll have this challenge go, let's say, through the end of the year. And then we'll come back and monitor it. But the challenge is pretty simple. You spent your whole life and lifetimes battling things. All of you had a physical or metaphorical sword that you carried with you. You spent your whole life in battle in many different ways. Literally in battle. A lot of you battled for religious forces. A lot of you battled in armies for countries. But most of the battling was done on an everyday basis, trying to get things for your life, working too hard to try to accomplish something. You're a great sword carrier. Put it down. Put it down. You use your force and your energy. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make it happen. Fuck that. Seriously. Drop it. You're so used to working hard, battling hard, fighting for things. And then when you have some sort of accomplishment, you get something, you're so proud. I'm a tough warrior. I'm a battler. I can make it happen. I can power my way through all these energies. I'll fight my way into it. Then you get you win a few little battles, and you think you're some grand warrior with energy. No, not anymore. Of course, this isn't just you. This is the way the world operates. This is what people do. I got to work for it, battle for it, fight for it, overcome things. And then you get real proud of yourself. Look what I overcame in my life. Look at my personal issues, my emotional issues, my business issues, and I've done all this stuff and battled for it. That ends. That all ends. That's going to be a tough one because that's the way you're used to doing things. And it's the way the planet is used to doing things. The challenge is stop the battles, stop the fights, stop all the hard work, stop thinking that everything has to be so hard and rigorous, and now receive. I've talked about it in 100 different ways. Energy serves the master. Let energy serve you. I'm going to put it this way. Now receive. It's all right there. It's in the light that comes in with the apocalypse. It's there for your body. You do not fight your body anymore. And so many of you are still doing that. You have a owie somewhere and you fight it. Mentally, you're like, I'm going to overcome that. I'm strong. I'm going to positive thinking. And you're just battling. That's all. I have abundance issues. I have to go to work hard and I've got to, what am I doing wrong? Well, I see other people and they work really hard and they're abundant. Maybe I'm not working hard enough. Maybe I'm not smart enough. That is a battle. I'm not smart enough. That's a battle. I don't know the tricks. That's a battle. It's one simple thing to receive. Now, that is perhaps the biggest change that comes as a result of the apocalypse. You've been pretty graceful, mostly up to now, on this. Disruptions at major levels. But I see in Shaumbra that you're still battling. I'm going to take this light and I'm going to whip the crap out of all my problems and I'm going to overcome my physical ailments. No. Now the tough part is that is ingrained in you and in humans. That somehow you have to work through energies. Somehow you have to exert yourself. You gotta be either smart or hardworking or good-looking, one of the three, and to overcome the things. Life becomes a constant series of these hurdles that you're trying to overcome, and you get kind of good sometimes, once in a while, overcoming hurdles, and then you think, oh, see, I did it. I'm a master because I can overcome hurdles. If you are a master, there would be no hurdles in the first place, none. That's the challenge to each and every one of you. You become a receiver of your own light. No more forcing, no more battling. Now, I'm having a little argument with Caldry here. He's so funny. He's saying, does that mean I just have to sit on my ass on the sofa all day and play video games? If you want. But you find out that life becomes fun. Why would you want to sequester yourself, sitting on your ass on a sofa playing video games? when you have your whole life now and it's not a battle. Why do people do these things? It's a battle. You're playing video games. It's just another battle. It's a battle in a virtual reality. What do you do? You're battling others, right? I'd never played a video game, nor do I desire to, but is there a video game where it's just about melding back together with yourself, the masculine, feminine, Adam and Isis coming back together, and then you allow all the light to come into your life, and you have realization beyond into the other realms, and yet so grounded here in the planet. Is there a video game called I Am Enlightened? I doubt it. Even a video game, sitting on your ass all day playing video games, you are battling, trying to overcome something. The challenge to each and every one of you, all of you now, is to become the receivers, to let it into your life, to get over the battle you're having with the abundance. And that's all you're doing is you're battling it. And, you know, it's kind of fun, I guess, up to a point, but then why not just receive? Why not just, and it's that simple. You are this planet, you, all of you, are this planet's metaphysicians. You are. The planet, the other humanity is relying on you. You are creating the new physics. And now the challenge is a big one. Stop battling. If you find yourself battling for everything, for anything, stop. Take a deep breath. It's an old habit. It's an entrenched habit. Light does not need to battle light. Light does not need to battle the darkness at all. It does not need to overcome anything. It simply needs to receive. That's it. It's going to be a challenge, and you're going to do this, to stop battling things within yourself first and then other people, but start with yourself and receive. And then you're going to try this, and you're instantly going to go back to the battling. We'll have to work hard at receiving. No, it's not the way it works. The master allows the luminosity of the light to change the nature of reality in their life, and then everything else changes. The old paradigm on this planet of work, fight, and then maybe celebrate a little before you go back to work, fight. It's done. It's over with. That is perhaps one of the biggest overlays and flaws of mass consciousness. And it's time for that to change. And it's going to start with you. I've had this discussion with some of the other ascended masters. I told them what we're going to be doing, and they laughed and laughed and laughed. And they said, Adamus, you must be smoking something down there in Colorado, because that just ain't going to happen on the planet. I strongly disagree. I disagree because, A, you're the metaphysicians, you were the realm workers, you were the ones here on the planet. Even if you weren't a realm worker, you were doing the inner work that was so necessary to make all this happen. And now the next step, it's a big one. No battling. Receiving. Feel that. Feel what that's like for a moment. In this beautiful safe space, just receiving your light. Not something out there. Just your light. Not trying to overcome odds. Not trying to set up situations for yourself so you can try to overcome it. And so many of you do that. So many of you do that. Why do you do that? Why do you set up situations so that you can just overcome it? So you can overcome it. What you want to see how high the next hurdle can be? And when you overcome that after falling down 20 times and really killing yourself, you're going to put the hurdle even higher. Let's end that old paradigm on the planet and receive your light. It's that simple. Into your body, into every cell. Receive that light into your consciousness, into your thoughts. Don't worry about the details, because they take care of themselves. Don't worry about How am I going to get my abundance? Forget abundance. Forget lack of abundance. Let that word go out of your vocabulary. Now it's about just receiving. And just receiving the luminosity of your own light. In doing so, you change the dynamics of your pure soul light, and then the ray of light that comes into this to create this reality, you change that luminosity, and it changes the nature of reality. Boom, that's it. That's it. You don't have to work at it. You don't have to slay it. There's nothing to fight anymore. Not even your own emotions or your emotional imbalances. And oh, good Lord, you fight your mind, your thoughts, your old memories. Put down the swords. Put down the tricks. Put down the desire to see if you can jump a bigger hurdle. What you can do by letting yourself now receive your light will change the world. It has to start somewhere, and I told the other Ascended Masters, we're going to start it. We're going to start it right here, right now, today. Y'all can try to catch up later, but we're going to start it. That is the challenge that goes out to all. Receive. That's it. One word, receive. I don't want you taking this word and writing long theses about it and writing these complex procedures. Take a deep breath and receive. You already know what you're receiving. You don't have to even think it out in your mind. You don't have to battle anything that would get in your way, any obstacles. Because in true receiving, there are no obstacles. You don't have to work at it. If you find yourself working at receiving, stop. You've just gone into battle mode. Stop and just receive. Now that we're into the apocalypse, we're going to get practical about it. We're going to start changing a very old, ingrained habit within yourself and within human consciousness so that life is about receiving. Let's take a good deep breath with that. Good deep breath. You've been working so damn hard as realm workers, as earth workers, so damn hard on so many things. Now we've got this new variable, this new element available right now after Heaven's Cross. It is a new light. That's here for you. Let's begin using it by ending the battles.